Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. In today's video we are going to be talking about this beautiful philodendron called as Philodendron Fibraecataphyllum. Now definitely I'm mispronouncing it. I'll put up the name on the screen so you can check it out. Now as you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful philodendron, looks very different from our regular ones. Now this is in a juvenile form. I will put up the image of how the mature form tends to look up on the right hand side so you'll get a better idea. Now it looks very delicate, but it is quite easy to grow. Now guys, this is a little bit on the rare side. Luckily I happen to find it in my local nursery. There is some kind of blessing that I have got, that of late I am getting a very good amount of plants from my local nursery. And this is one of them. The moment I seen it, I wanted to pick up, because even the nursery guy was not very sure about the name, so I had to pick this plant up. And you can see it looks absolutely beautiful. It is a climbing plant, so of course you'll have to give it a pole in order for it to grow vertically, because it tends to climb. It is an epiphytic plant. You can see it's putting out a new leaf which is still inside the cataphyll. It also has some nodes over here. So if you are a person who's planning to propagate this plant, this is where you are supposed to cut a few centimeters beneath the node. I've already made the propagation video of philodendrons. I'll put the link in the description below. You can check it out. So if you're a person who's looking out for a low maintenance plant, then this is one of the plant you can add in your collection, provided you give the basic care requirements, which we will talk in detail, starting off with light. Now please do not offer any direct sunlight for this plant. The leaves will get burnt. You can see they are very delicate, so you have to be extremely careful. Offer a good amount of indirect bright light. Morning direct sunlight before 9 AM. If it's very mild, that's absolutely okay, but after that please do not offer any direct sunlight, especially afternoon direct sunlight. I don't know what's going to happen. The plant might completely get burnt, so be extremely careful. You can grow this plant indoor as well as outdoor. If you're growing it indoor, keep it closer to the windowsill where it receives a good amount of light without the strong afternoon sunlight falling onto the leaves. Do not keep it under the air conditioning vent or the heater, because that will again damage the plant. Now talking about watering, whenever you see around 1 inch of the upper layer of soil is dry, go ahead and do a complete watering until the water starts passing through the drain hole. Now watering is a topic that I leave up to you, because it all depends upon your environment and climate. For some people the environment is dry, for some people the environment is very humid. So this is something that you have to check personally and go ahead and water. But do not keep this plant underwatered for a very long time. It's not a drought tolerant plant. Now because the soil requires a slight even moisture, that's why we have to prepare the soil mix accordingly. The soil mix that I tend to use is a mix of coco peat, garden soil, sand and perlite. Coco peat is going to give that slight amount of moisture. Sand is going to make the soil mix well draining, because they prefer well draining soil mix. Garden soil is going to give the natural nutrients, and perlite will make the soil mix airy, because they prefer loose, porous, well draining soil mix which is breathable for this plant. So offer a soil mix similar to that. You can even use a soilless media as well, but as you'll all know, it is more economical to use this kind of soil mix, because for a soilless media you need a lot of material that will not be readily available probably in your city or in your nursery. For that you'll have to purchase it online, and that is an additional cost. So this tends to work out really economical for me, and probably if you're looking out for a very economical soil mix, then this tends to work out really well. Now talking about pest issues, yes, this plant does get affected with mealybugs as well as spider mites. Mealybugs usually attack the stem area, and spider mites will usually be behind the leaves. So always turn the leaves and check whenever you're doing a routine check, once in 2 weeks or once in 3 weeks. The moment you find even one insect attack, immediately get into action. Whatever organic solution that you have been using, use that for the plant and treat the infestation at the early stage before it completely takes over the plant, because once it takes over the plant, then it's very difficult for the plant to recover from that infestation. Now talking about fertilizers, just like any other philodendrons, please do not add fertilizers during the winter season. Watering and fertilizers, watering should be reduced during the winters, and fertilizers must not be given to a dormant plant. Not a dormant plant, but it tends to slow down its growth, so at that period of time it does not require a lot of fertilizers. If you want to add fertilizers, you can go with any liquid based fertilizer or vermicompost or compost, anything that is organic. You can use that that during the summer season, which is their active growing period. Now, talking about temperature and humidity, this plant will do well in a temperature between 15 degrees Celsius up to 34 degrees Celsius. The plant will do quite well because these are tropical plants. They prefer warmer environment in order to grow, so offer the same kind of environment. Humidity anywhere above 50%, 60% is going to work out really well. If you are from a very dry environment and if you're growing it indoor, ensure you're using a humidifier, or if you're growing it outdoor, ensure you club a lot of plants together. And during the hot period, like the afternoons, you can do a light misting around the plant so that it can increase the humidity. Now again, when you tend to mist, it's not a permanent solution, it's a temporary solution, but something is better than nothing. So you can go with that. Now, talking about, is this plant toxic? Yes, this plant is toxic because it belongs to the genus of Philodendron. Ingesting of the leaves can be quite dangerous, so ensure you're keeping this plant away from the reach of small children and pets. If you're going to do that, this is an absolutely easy, fuss-free plant. All you have to do is just follow these basic care tips, and trust me, this plant is going to do quite well. If you are a person who has a very small balcony or has a very small space, this is one of the plants you can add in your collection, and it has this very beautiful texture on the leaves. The shape of the leaves will change, as I said, as and when it starts to mature, but it looks absolutely beautiful. It can give a very forest vibe to your garden. So if you are a person who's looking out for a plant like that, definitely this plant is more available online these days compared to what it was a couple of years back. It was almost impossible to get this plant and it was very expensive, but today it is very affordable, so you can easily find it online, if not in your local nursery. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.